There are strange things done in the land of the midnight sun by the men that toil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen weird sights, but the weirdest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake LaBarge where I cremated Sam McGee. Now, Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the South to roam round the pole, no one truly knows. He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell, though he'd often say in his homely way that he would sooner live in hell. Now, on a winter's day, we were marching our way over the White Pass Trail. Now, talk of your cold. Through the parkas fold, it stabbed like a driven nail. If our eyes we'd close, then the lashes froze, till sometimes we couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night, as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, the dogs were fed and the stars o'erhead were dancing heel and toe, he turned to me and, "Buddy," says he, "I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if I do, I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request." Well, he seemed so low that I couldn't say no. Then he says with a sort of a moan, "It's the cursed cold, and it's got right hold, till I'm chilled clean through to the bone. It ain't being dead. It's my awful dread of an icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear that, foul or fair, you'll cremate my last remains." Now, a pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail. We started on at the break of dawn, but damn, he looked ghastly pale, crouching on the sleigh and raving all day of his home in Tennessee. And before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in that land of death as I hurried horror-driven, with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of that promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, "You may tax your brawn and brains, but you promised true, and it's up to you to cremate those last remains." Now, a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were numb, in my heart how I cursed that load. In the long, long nights by the lone firelights, while the huskies round in a ring howled out their woes to the homeless snows, how I loathed that thing. Every day that quiet clay seemed to heavy and heavier grow, and on I went though the dogs were spent and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad, and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in. And I'd often sing to the hateful thing, and it hearkened with a grin. Until I came to the marge of Lake LaBarge, and a derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice, but I saw in a trice it was called the Alice May. And I looked at it, and I thought a bit, and I looked at my frozen chum. Then, "Here," said I, with a sudden cry, "is my crematorium." Some planks I tore from that cabin floor as I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found that was lying around as I heaped the fuel higher. The flames just soared and the furnace roared, such a blaze you seldom see. And I buried a hole in the glowing coal and stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I made a hike. I didn't like to hear him sizzle so. The heavens scowled and the huskies howled as the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why. And the greasy smoke in an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with the grisly fear, but the stars came out and they danced about ere I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, "I'll just take a peep inside. I'm guessing he's cooked, and it's time I looked. Then the door I opened wide. And there sat Sam, looking cool and calm in the heart of that furnace roar. He wore a smile you could see a mile, and he said, "Please close the door. It's fine in here, but I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and storm. And since I left Plumtree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm." There are strange things done in the land of the midnight sun by those that toil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen weird sights, but the weirdest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake LaBarge, where I cremated Sam McGee.